I am Nick Shell.
And I am Mario Garcia.
And together we are
Jeep Hombres.
Here's the topic. I feel there's no true competitor to a Jeep Wrangler. I mean, there's been car companies out there that would make something sort of similar to it, but really nothing compares to a Jeep Wrangler. That's my opening statement. That's how I feel. How do you feel when I say that?
I mean, I would agree with you on that. I think when you're looking at practicality of a car, when you're looking at usefulness of a car, safety of a car, I mean, there's really nothing that compares to the Jeep Wrangler. That's just something that I've found in my own personal life when you're looking at driving in snowy conditions or extreme weather. I mean, flooding. And that does happen here quite often here in Tennessee. There's an area that was flooded once and regular cars couldn't drive through it, but my Jeep handled it no problem.
That is true because we've got the plugs.
Yep.
Yeah, the previous owner had that issue because I saw even there was still some mud in the plugs when I bought it.
Yeah, so that's something that for me, it's like...
The four-wheel drive too.
Yep, the four-wheel drive.
Here's another part of that I don't think people talk about enough. But, because you're like, well, what about a pickup truck? A four-wheel drive truck could do that. Yeah, but trucks are so long and these are so short. And that's one of the things I love about it. It's so short.
Yeah.
So like it's more agile. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's got the power and the agility.
Yep.
And I think that combination is one of the things that attracts me to it. And okay, I'm no spoilers, but last night I did see Endgame. So I'm thinking about Marvel right now, and I'm thinking about Spider-Man. I'm thinking about maybe even Ant-Man. I'm thinking about agility.
Yeah. As
far as a superpower, if the Jeep was a superhero,
yeah,
it would be agile. It would have a lot of strength, but it's not necessarily big.
Right.
And I think a lot of times with the vehicles, it takes a lot of size. Mm-hmm. To get what these smaller vehicles already have.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think when you're talking about agility and that sort of thing, and you mentioned the truck bed's light. So when even when you get that four-wheel drive, you have to have weight. People put sandbags in the back of their truck, in the bed of their truck to add that weight to get more grip in the tires. But with the shortness of the Jeep, right, and in the four-wheel drive, you have a lot more, I'd say just better weight distribution. You don't have to put stuff in the back. The Jeep's already heavy as it is. So when it comes to towing things or pulling people out of ditches in snowy conditions or icy conditions, I've heard stories of people coming in where trucks just fail to tow people out or pull people out, and Jeeps will come in with their winches on the front and tow people out, no problem. So yeah, I mean, when you're comparing against trucks,
man, it just doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it compares. It seems like when you're looking for something that a Jeep has, nothing else has what this has. I mean, okay, so what about over the years though? There's got to be some vehicles that were made in a likeness of a Jeep. Mm-hmm. I mean, was it the Toyota FJ Cruiser that they stopped making?
Yeah.
What do you know about it?
That's a classic car though. I mean, when you look at the FJ Cruiser, especially the early models of it, oh man, it's definitely beautiful. And when you, if you don't know what an FJ Cruiser is, I would say they do look very, very similar to a Jeep and the older models when you're looking at the CJ. For example, a Jeep CJ compared to the FJ5 or the Toyota FJ. So they do look very similar. I would say another car that's comparable is the Land Rover.
Yeah, I was just about to say the Land Rover.
The Land Rover as well. I mean, that's a very popular car.
I've been mudding in one of those, and I was very impressed with what it was able to do, but still though, he ended up getting stuck.
Yep.
And I was like, the Jeeps just didn't have the problem. So it's like, in those Land Rovers, I mean, I know the Jeeps can get pretty expensive, but man, the Land Rovers especially.
Yeah. You're looking at a pretty penny for one of those. So yeah, they're pretty up there. But yeah, I would say the Toyota FJ, Land Rover.
They made it AMC Scrambler, is that right? But that was way before we were born, in the 70s or whatever.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing, even these other cars we're talking about, it's not necessarily that they're still making them other than the Land Cruiser, but FJ, even when they brought it back, they stopped making it again 4 years ago. What's funny is my Honda Element that I just sold to my parents 2 weeks ago. In theory, that could have been a decent competition had they made them. You could get it in four-wheel drive, but most of them weren't. You could get them manual, most of them weren't.
Yeah.
But in theory, if it was more the norm for them to be four-wheel drive, manual transmission, and have the bigger tires on there, in so many ways, it could have been at least some kind of competition to a Jeep Wrangler. But they didn't. They didn't market them that way.
Right.
They made them too city friendly in the marketing.
Yep.
and no one put big tires on it. That's not a thing that you see.
Right.
So there's just not any competition, and I'm starting to wonder if there ever will be. It's been around since 1941.
Mm-hmm.
1941.
I don't know, man. I don't see it.
So yeah, if they don't have a competitor by now, it's just like they keep one. And it's interesting just how they've been around for so long, and everybody knows they exist, but they're so under the radar. They're so understated.
Yeah.
And so it's not a flashy vehicle, but at the same time, there definitely is this status symbol that goes along with it.
Yeah.
As far as credibility, it's like, man, like BMW, Mercedes, whatever that is, whatever kind of car it is, to me, it's still not as impressive as a Jeep.
Yeah, I mean, you do have that Mercedes, the G-Wagon, but that's still really flashy, in my opinion. And
yeah, that's like rap star money to me.
Yeah.
When I see those, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Good for them,
true.
but not in my budget.
The thing is, like, I mean, if I had to pick between a G-Wagon and a Jeep to go off trail, Jeep. Yeah. Hands down.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even think.
But if you're trying to impress people on the street,
still Jeep.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because I take the doors off, the top off.
Because you can't do that. See, that's something that was another thing I was thinking of when I was thinking we need to make a video about this. Is then there's still just that I don't care attitude.
Yep.
Of a Jeep, because you can take the doors off, you can take the top off. There's so much you can just deconstruct, and like that's not normal for most cars. That they're built to deconstruct. Even the windshields.
Yeah, but they fold down.
Like I was telling my dad, I was like, "Do you know what these things are? This is for if you want to take the windshield out. I guess get a shotgun and I don't know, shoot deer out the front. I don't know, but
I mean, probably No, that's something that I love. I mean, if you look at mine, like I don't care. My Jeep is messy. Like I love that. I don't care. You take the doors off. I don't care. It doesn't, like the interior on the inside, it can get messy and it doesn't bother me at all. So there's definitely like a freedom that comes with that.
Yeah.
That I really love, especially during the summer and fall.
Yeah. See, it seems that even with the competition of a Jeep, if we're talking about a Land Rover or the Mercedes that we're talking about, even then though, it kind of feels like you paid a lot of money for this nice pair of boots, like Timberland boots on them that you don't want to get scuffed.
Yeezys.
Right?
Yeah.
And with this, like, it's made for that.
Yeah.
Like, that's part of the credibility is that you see the mud on it, which is actually a whole other video we got to talk about.
Yep.
So we'll pick it up from there.
Yep.
But hey, this is an open discussion. If there's anything you disagreed with what we just said, it's okay. Put it in the comments because maybe there's something we don't know. Maybe there's this other perfect competitor to a Jeep Wrangler that's been around since 1941 that we don't know about.
Right.
Probably not. But if there is, we need to become enlightened.
Yeah.
Comment section. We are the Jeep Hombres.